Hi, this is a short video for coaches thinking about returning back to coaching. So the uncertainty of the pandemic has been particularly challenging for both athletes and coaches. As part of that, priorities may have changed, so that might be your own or that might be your athletes. It's important to be sensitive to this as athletes come back. They may not come back in the same mindset as they left the sport several months ago. So part of that is thinking about how to reconnect with your athletes. So you might want to do a social mapping exercise to identify who you need to spend a little bit more time with, perhaps make an extra effort to reconnect with if they've been somebody that you haven't connected with or haven't spoken to over the last few months. Think about this for yourself as well. Is there anybody that it would be beneficial for you to reconnect with? The third thing to think about is stress and anxiety. Now, it would be completely normal if you found returning back to coaching a bit stressful. It's also completely normal if you don't. This is the same for your athletes. Some of them might be so excited to get back and just really keen, but others might find that a bit stressful. Some of the things that might cause anxiety could be just being back in an environment with lots of people when people have been used to social distancing. This is particularly potentially the case if we're talking about indoor facilities where people are not used to being in a crowd in an indoor venue. So again, think about how you balance this with your athletes. Check in with them, ask them how they're feeling before the first session, after the first session, see how it went for them. Athletes might also find that they need to ask more questions, particularly if they've been away from their sport for quite a long time. This might be the same for coaches as well. You might find that you're actually a bit rusty in terms of your own coaching. So again, give yourself and your athletes a bit of leeway with this. Don't expect them to come back or for you to come back exactly as you were when you stopped. Final thing to have a think about is motivation. So particularly if perhaps tournaments have been cancelled, you may need to think about resetting this motivation with the athletes if you haven't got the event to aim for that you formerly had. So reframe this with your athletes. Do it as a joint exercise and think about revisiting maybe some of the goals that they had before the pandemic and seeing if any of those need adjusted. You can do this as a group as well if it's a team sport. Okay, so things to think about. Priorities might have changed. Focus initially on reconnecting and really just getting back to enjoying your sessions. And anxiety is normal. We all feel it a bit at this time. It's also totally normal if in that environment you don't. And finally, find your new motivation because it might have changed. But number one thing is just to really create sessions that are enjoyable for everybody to get back into. Number one thing should be just having fun when you get back. So enjoy.